Okay, welcome back to course of electrical machine 2. So far we have discussed the construction and principle of synchronous generator, um, the EMF equation, winding factors, the pitch factor and the distribution factor. So today I will discuss the armature reaction effect on synchronous generator. So what basically the armature reaction is, we have heard it before while learning a DC machine. So it's basically the interaction of armature MMF on the main field flux, armature flux to the main field flux. Okay. So in case of synchronous generator, if there is no load, means the rotor is rotating at a synchronous speed ns, and there will be a main field flux rotating at same speed in the air gap ns, but there is no load, means we are not taking any current or any supply. Okay, so in that case the EMF induced will be the no load EMF, EPH only, which will lag the main field flux by 90 degree that we have seen earlier. Okay, if there is a flux phi, then this induced EMF, no load induced EMF, will lag the main field flux. Okay, now when we connect load to the armature, then there will be a current flowing in the armature, and then there will be a armature MF and armature flux. Okay, though there is a three-phase current, it will definitely produce a rotating flux, rotating field, which will also rotate in the air gap with the same speed, that is synchronous speed. And these two, the armature flux and main field flux, will interact with each other, and the effect will be the armature reaction. Okay, in synchronous generator the armature reaction depends on the power factor of the load, तो हमने देखा जैसे हमने लोड लगाया, ओके, वहाँ पे करंट फ्लो हुई और फिर फ्लक्स जनरेट हुआ आर्मेचर का, तो लोड में करंट जो फ्लो हुई, तो वो वहाँ पे लोड का पावर फैक्टर क्या है, वो बहुत मेजर रोल प्ले करेगा यहाँ पे हमारा आर्मेचर रिएक्शन किस टाइप का होगा. लाइक आर्मेचर रिएक्शन इज हैविंग डीमैग्नेटाइजिंग इफेक्ट, और इट्स हैविंग मैग्नेटाइजिंग इफेक्ट, और क्रॉस मैग्नेटाइजिंग इफेक्ट. Okay, so we'll discuss one by one. First, if we have a resistive load, means zero power factor, unity power factor load, unity power factor load, or you can say resistive load, then what will happen? The circuit diagram, phasor diagram we can explain. If there is a main field flux by F, so EMF induced will be lagging here, EPH. If load is resistive, then the current flowing in the armature will be in phase of this voltage, so I will be there, and in the direction of current, armature flux will also be here. Okay, so in this case this armature reaction effect will be cross magnetizing. The detailed notes I'll provide. Here you have to just understand this phenomena. Okay, so in this case the armature reaction effect will be cross magnetizing. Okay, so if we if we have a zero power factor load, zero power factor lagging, suppose inductive, pure inductive. If we have zero power factor lagging load, then what will happen? Main field flux is here, EMF induced will be here. If the load is lagging, means the current will lag 90 degree the voltage, so your current will be here, and the same direction the armature flux also be here. The current will produce flux only. Okay, so from this you can see the armature reaction effect will be, this armature flux is opposing the main field flux, so the armature reaction effect will be demagnetizing. Okay, it will be demagnetizing. But practically the loading is not zero power factor loading, it will be between 0.8 to 0.9 lagging. So our armature reaction effect practically will be little demagnetizing and little cross magnetizing. Okay, so what happens if the load is zero power factor leading? Please try. If the load is zero power factor leading, what will happen? There is your main field flux, the induced EMF will be here, and if the load is leading, the current will lead the voltage, and your current, armature current, will be here only, and in the same direction your armature flux will also be here. So this armature flux is supporting the main field flux, so the armature reaction effect for the zero power factor leading load is magnetizing. ओके, तो ये चीज़ें आप ध्यान रखिए कि हाउ आवर आर्मेचर रिएक्शन इफेक्ट इज varying with the load power factor. Okay, so if there is an armature reaction, so we can present this armature reaction effect in the circuit. So armature reaction is basically the basically depend upon the current, load current. Okay, so it's basically a voltage drop, so it's a fictitious voltage drop. We can present it in the equivalent circuit. Okay, so let's draw the equivalent circuit. Here we have induced EMF E, and here we can assume a fictitious voltage drop. We can represent it as a reactance XAR. Okay, then there will be another reactance, that is the leakage reactance of the conductor. We will represent it with XL, and then there will be a armature resistance. Okay, then we will get the terminal voltage here, VPH. Okay, okay, so we are representing this armature reaction voltage drop with fictitious reactance, that is XAR. So our synchronous impedance is, the total impedance will be the Z is equal to R plus j xl plus xar. Okay, so with combination of this xl and xar, we can call it the synchronous reactance, and you can write it as r plus j xs. So xs is basically xl plus xar, and we can call it synchronous reactance, and we can call this z is synchronous impedance. Okay, synchronous impedance. Okay, so next in line we will discuss the voltage regulation. Okay, so what is voltage regulation? The term you have heard before while studying the transformer and all. Voltage regulation. So it's basically change in the terminal voltage. If we remove the load, the synchronous generator is designed for rated voltage at the rated load. Okay, so if we remove the load, the terminal voltage will go high, and this difference in a terminal voltage we'll call it voltage regulation. And we want this fluctuation should be minimum, so the ideal value of voltage regulation will be 0, should be 0. Okay, so we'll define it as voltage regulation percentage is equal to no load voltage, that is EPH, minus VPH, that is divided by no load minus full load divided by full load. Okay, so if we remove the load, the voltage will go high. Okay, so if let's derive some expression for EPH for different loading, then we'll discuss the methods to determine the voltage regulations. Okay, that is the one of important topics. Okay, so let's say we have a lagging load. Okay, we have a lagging load here. Let's draw the phasor diagram first. Suppose here is our armature current IA. Okay, so if the load is lagging, our terminal voltage V will lead. It will definitely lead the voltage by some power factor angle phi. Okay. Now the two drops are there, IaRa and IaXs. IaRa drop will be in phase with this current. Okay, IaRa, and IaXs is with J, so it will be at 90 degree from here, and this will be our EPH, and this is IA axis. Okay, so to calculate EPH, we can take help, we can extend it here. Okay, let's say O, A, B, C, D. So we have to calculate AOD. Okay, so with this big triangle, you can say OD is equal to under root OB square plus BD square. Clear? Okay, so what is OB square? OB means this OA plus OB, OA plus AB, this OA plus AB. So OA is what? OA is in this, with this triangle, this small triangle, we can write OA as VPH cos phi. Okay, so OB we can write VPH cos phi plus AB. AB is what? AB is the same as you down here, that is IA RA. So it will be IA RA square plus BD. What is BD? BD means this length, this complete length. So this length we know it is IA axis, plus this one, it will be same as this one. Okay, so from small triangle we can write it as VPH sin phi, okay, plus IA axis square. Clear? Okay, so you can draw this phasor diagram for leading load and unity power factor load also, and you can get the equation for EPH. Okay, so if you get the equation for EPH, you can calculate directly the voltage regulation, that is EPH minus VPH by VPH, because VPH is known to you. Okay, this is terminal voltage at full load. Okay, so for leading load, your EPH will be, you can draw this and derive the expression. I'm writing it here, and it will be under root VPH cos phi plus IARA square plus VPH sin phi minus of IA axis square. Okay, and for resistive load, your power factor angle phi will be 0. Then EPH will be cos phi, cos 0 means 1, then VPH plus IA RA square sin phi, sin 0 means 0. Okay, it will be IA axis square. Okay. So you can draw the phasor diagram also, and for leading load you have to just draw this V here like this. In leading load, current I will lead the voltage, and for unity power factor V will be in phase of I. Okay, so next thing, we have to determine this voltage regulation. There is a lot of method to determine this voltage regulation. Let's see the name actually of this voltage regulation determination methods. Okay, so we'll discuss methods to determine voltage regulation. The first is direct method. In this we directly connect the actual load to the generator, and we can calculate voltage regulation from there, but it is restricted to the small rating machine only. Okay. And the second category is indirect method. Okay, in indirect method we have many methods. Like first we have synchronous impedance method, या फिर you can say EMF method, synchronous impedance or EMF method, and second one is MMF method. Third one is Pointer triangle method. Fourth one is ASA method. We'll discuss it one by one. Synchronous impedance method. In synchronous impedance method, the value of impedance will be more than the actual value. So this method we call it as pessimistic method. And this MMF method, in this method the voltage regulation comes, the value of voltage regulation comes little less than the actual value. So we call it as a optimistic method. The Pointer triangle method is the best method. Yeah. And this ASA is the modification of Pointer only. And this Pointer triangle method is also based on MMF method only. Okay. So we'll discuss these methods one by one in next lecture. Okay. Thank you.